8 years ago, I started off poor. I started off broke. I started off a pretty stupid university student with barely a dollar to my name. And over the years, I began to study the subject of success. And I had one simple idea that came upon me in my late teens, and I think it's the most important idea that I've ever had. It was simply that if you study successful people and you do what they do, you will become successful. And if you study unsuccessful people and you avoid doing what they do, then you won't be a failure. And what I want to talk to you about today is some of the principles that I've discovered in over my 8 years of research. I've studied successful men and women, I've read self help books, biographies, and autobiographies. I've looked at the characteristics and principles of them. I've studied philosophy, economics, religion, psychology, and metaphysics, and I've come to 7 key qualities. Now, there may be more, there may be less, but I find that each of these 7 qualities that successful men and women have, that if you have these 7 qualities, there's nothing in the world that can stop you from being an outstanding success. So let's talk about these principles. Someone out there right now has half your skills, half your knowledge, and half your potential, and they're already further ahead than you. Not because they're smarter, not because they got lucky, but because they started with 80% of the information and figured out the rest by moving. And you're still waiting to feel ready. I've been there. I'm still there some days, which is exactly why I'm making this video. I'm not here as someone who has it all figured out. I'm here as someone building in real time and putting it on camera. What I do have is a formula, one I've been obsessing over, testing, and living, learning from some of the greatest minds on the internet. And here's the thing, I didn't come up with all of this on my own. I've been obsessively studying successful people for years. Because the idea is simple. Study what successful people do, and do those things. Study what unsuccessful people do, and avoid those things. That's the entire game. So today I'm breaking down every piece of the formula. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact framework. So stick around. Habit 1, clarity and direction. Let me start here, because without this, nothing else matters. Every single successful person I've studied is crystal clear about where they're going and what they want to accomplish. And almost every unsuccessful person, well, they have a very limited sense of direction. Sometimes, not at all. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. If you don't have a clear, specific goal, you're destined to spend your life working for people who do. Only 5% of people actually have written goals. That's it, 5%. So here's the first move. Get clear on what you want to be, have, and do. You'll naturally gravitate towards certain things. You'll change your plans as you go, as you get new information. This is completely normal. But if you don't have at least a 50 to 80% kind of clarity or direction of where you want to go, you won't really make much progress. You need a North Star. Not having a plan is planning to fail. I'm sure you've heard this before. And be decisive about it. I've never met a successful person who is indecisive, but 80% of decisions should be made the moment they come up. The difference between success and failure isn't making the right decision, it's making your decision right. Habit 2, commitment to excellence and conviction. Every single person who's achieved anything meaningful did it after committing to becoming excellent at what they do. Not good, not average, excellent. Excellence isn't a destination, it's a journey. You never arrive, you just keep getting better. The people who succeed aren't perfect. They focus on improving consistently in areas that matter most. You don't need to be a genius or leaps ahead of everyone else. You need to be a little better every day. In the right ways. The more you do it, the better you'll get. The harder you work, the more you'll grow. Excellence opens doors, mediocrity closes them. Here's the key for you as a young person. You need full conviction that you will be excellent. Not hope, not wishful thinking. Conviction means acting like it will happen, showing up, grinding, and doing what is required. Without this level of belief, you'll overthink, hesitate, and do less than what is required. Excellence is a journey. Keep improving every day, focus on the areas that matter, and take massive action. Without this level of belief, you'll overthink everything. You'll hesitate, you'll do less than you need to, you'll talk yourself out of hard stuff. Full belief forces action. It makes you show up, grind, and do what's required. Dream big while you're at it, but most people set their goals so low that even achieving them doesn't excite them. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Build a vision of what you could be, and build a foundation under that dream. Habit 3, the courage to start, and the courage to be judged. Overcoming the fear of judgment, criticism, being disliked. Courageous people aren't people who aren't afraid. They're people who master their fears. Mark Twain said it best. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. Fear and courage are both habits. Every time you back away from something scary, you reinforce that habit of backing away. Every time you push through and reinforce the habit of courage, you're building it up little by little. So here's a good rule of thumb. Whatever you do, Whenever you have a choice to move forward or to play it safe, move forward. Take the path that will lead to a better story that you'll tell your grandkids one day. Not because you'll succeed every time, but because it builds the habit of moving forward. And here's the truth about hate. It usually comes from below, people doing less than you, or people who made criticism part of their brand. Either way, it has nothing to do with you, so just start. Most people are focused on themselves anyways, not you. Habit 4. Discipline and grit. So, consistency, not quitting when things get hard. Not quitting when you're uncertain of the outcome. And not quitting when you don't know if it'll even work. Here's what nobody prepares you for. No one is cheering for you in the middle. The beginning's exciting, people support you, and the end obviously is victory if that's your goal, or winning, right? The middle is just you, alone, in the dark, doing the boring work, unglamorous work that needs doing. Not knowing if it'll pay off. No one cares that you're doing this work, but you're doing it for yourself. Every single great success story is a story of failure initially. Most great success stories start as a story of failure, a series of failures, until you, like a video game, have reached the next level. Then overnight success. But most people miss the first levels to get there. This is the accumulation of skills. All those courses you took that never paid off until you got a final building block and then it clicked. Even when you're doing 100 things and can't see any results, they're accumulating, building force, until one day it breaks through. So just don't quit in the middle. Habit number 5, relentless action. Constant output on your 80-20 activities. In business, that's constant outreach, sales, marketing. As a creator, that's videos constantly. You'll never have all the information to start, never. So stop waiting for it. If you can get 80%, just start. Here's what nobody tells you. The other 20% doesn't exist yet. You discover it by moving. Something can work for someone else and completely fail for you. You only find out by doing, not by watching more videos or taking another course, reading another book about it. The person who started with half your information is already ahead of you, already figuring out what works, already iterating. Stop collecting, start doing. Habit number 6, speed wins. How long each step actually takes in minutes and hours. Not arbitrary deadlines, real time. Alex Hormozi defines intelligence as the speed of learning, not just knowledge, but how fast you change your behavior when faced with this new knowledge. So develop a sense of urgency. Only about 2% of people have a true bias for action. The excellent companies, the excellent people, do things fast. Get the reputation as the person who responds immediately, who executes fast, who doesn't sit on things. That reputation alone could open you doors. We're living in an age where knowledge is no longer scarce. AI is literally a giant database of everything. Anyone can figure out whatever you think it is with a prompt or two, and that's just the reality right now. Just knowing things isn't an edge anymore. Speed of execution is. So habit number 7, track everything. What isn't tracked isn't improved, simple as that. And concentration is everything. There's never enough time to do everything, but there's always enough time to do the important things. Most people make a list of everything they want to do and start at the bottom. And at the end of the day, nothing meaningful actually got done. Successful people concentrate on the top items. Anything other than working on your highest priority is a waste of time. Fitness, for example. If you don't know what you weigh every day or how many calories you're eating, you won't get the results you want, I promise you. If you don't know how much you're lifting over the week or what your plan is to increase and progressively overload, you're not going to get stronger. So business is the same. If you don't know how many hours you're working, you can't improve your efficiency. Track everything, build systems, and improve from the data. The cost. There are prices no one talks about. Loneliness is the price of ambition. Pleasure is the price of discipline. And privacy is the price of fame. You can't have both sides of each other. Choose what you're willing to pay and stop being surprised when the bill shows up. And here's some extra ones that I found from looking at some of the most successful people for you to review for yourselves and just see what you think. So these are some of the core competencies from Alex Hormozi's company, Gym Launch. I'll let you read through these. Do the boring work. Speed is king. Be your own boss. Grow or die. Have humility. Don't sugarcoat it. And then from acquisition.com, his new company. These are the new ones. So unimpeachable character, sincere candor, and competitive greatness. And here are just some extra ones that I found too. This is from Jason Capital or Alex Morocco online. Some good ones to check out. See what you think. Ray Dalio here, absolute legend. If you haven't read Principles, highly recommend. Here's some from Marcus Aurelius. Here's some from Brian Johnson. So here's the thing about confidence that no one tells you. You can't get it from a motivational seminar. You can't buy it. You can't think your way into it. You only build confidence by doing the things you normally back away from over and over again. Every time you push through your fear and succeed, you build a successful pattern in your mind, and you subconsciously begin to replicate that pattern automatically. Nothing succeeds like success. The more you do it, the more unstoppable you'll become. Make the decision right now. No matter what life throws at me, it will never stop me. I can be tired, I can be worn out, but I won't quit. That's the formula. I'm not handing this down from a mountaintop. I'm working through every single one of these steps in real time, just like you. And remember, take action on your main thing. Discipline is a game of subtraction, not addition. You have all this information, all the steps you need to succeed. But the thing is, it's really going to come from you just blocking out and not doing everything else, and just focusing on one thing and just becoming obsessed with it and just going all in on it. So, thanks for watching. Drop a comment below and tell me which one of these you struggle the most with. I'm genuinely curious to see where most people get stuck. And if you like this video, I made another one on productivity. That one goes deeper on getting done what you need to. So I'll just link that in the description below here. See you there. Take action, stay blessed, peace.